Welcome back, everyone. This is another episode of a Bitly Deep Dive webinar. Today, we'll be focusing on user management tools. Quick agenda of what we'll be covering in today's webinar. As always, we'll start with a quick introduction so you can know who you're listening to, as well as review Bitly's mission. We'll then get into Bitly user permissions. What are they? Why use them? And then you'll see a live demo of how to invite users to the Bitly enterprise account. Quick note before we get too into it, currently, user permissions are available for our enterprise customers only. As mentioned, want to introduce ourselves quickly. My name is Maddie Smith. I'm an onboarding manager here at Bitly. I work with all new developer and enterprise customers to make sure they are set up successfully and feeling comfortable with the Bitly platform. Alongside me today is my lovely co-host, Alex, who I'll pass to.
Yeah, hi. I am Alex Hancock. I'm a technical writer here at Bitly, and I work on the Bitly Help Center, so support.bitly.com. If you've ever spent any time there, you may have seen my headshot at the top of the articles. And I get to spend a lot of time in the product doing my job, learning how to do lots of different things so that I can accurately describe them on the Help Center. And I'm looking forward to being able to talk about one of those very important things, user management.
Perfect, me too. Wonderful. Just as a reminder, we want to share the Bitly mission. So our mission is to turn every interaction into a catalyst for connections. We strive to do this through our Connections platform. And one of the features in the Connections platform, specifically for our enterprise customers, is user management. So that's what we'll be focusing on today. So you're probably wondering, what are the different user roles, or what is user management in general, and why should you use them? Don't worry, got that covered for you. So user permissioning here at Bitly, we offer three different roles. That would be user, group admin, and account admin. When we do the demo, we'll show you the definition of the three. But basically, if you're a user, you'll have the most limited amount of permissionings, and account admin being the top. Some key reasons why customers find user permissioning so valuable is it allows companies or organizations to collaborate anywhere and anytime, all through one account. You can manage multiple teams and keep that one enterprise account so it's nice and clean and organized. It also allows the ability to have admin controls with that account admin user permissioning. So they're able to oversee teammate access, the utilization of Bitly, and ultimately it leads to better account security because it prevents from any account sharing. Additionally, you can better understand usage within your organization or company because you can see how much each individual user is creating and what content they are creating. So you can evaluate how useful this tool is per the individual that has access to the account. And then once you are familiar with the user permissionings and become an expert there, you also have the ability to enable SSO, or two-step verification, or 2FA, again, adding to that extra level of account security. So that was a really high level overview, mainly because you're going to see a lot of what user permissionings are in the demo. So because of that, I'm going to pass it over to Alex, who's going to take over.
Thank you so much, Maddie. That was a great overview, and I think it'll be really helpful to jump into the actual product to see what we'll be working with. So here I am in the Bitly Help Center's account. This is an enterprise account, which will allow me to, one, have different groups, and two, have multiple users. So we're going to start off with adding one user into the account, and then I'll pop over to that user's account because that user is also me, and show what it looks like for the user jumping in. This will be helpful for if you're an individual contributor who's been added to an account, you can see that process. But also, we found that account admins sometimes get questions from the people that they've added. How do I actually get into the account so I can start making links, QR codes, or managing our page, our link in bio? So here I am in the Bitly Help Center account. And I'm going to go into my account settings, click settings there on the left side. And now you can see here, it takes me immediately to my profile, which is all about me as a user myself. But I can go into my account settings on this left side and click down into users. And here I can see everybody who's already in my account. And you can see how many user seats you have available in your account. So I have three. I'm going to add one more right now. I'm just going to click add new user. And here we immediately get into having to think about what kind of access the person is going to have. So as I'm adding a new user, I can choose which level of access. If I give them user level access, I can select exactly which groups to put them in. I can also make them a group administrator, sorry, and again, select exactly which groups I want them to be able to manage, or I can make them an account admin, which will give them the same permissions that I have as the admin of this account. They can do everything. They can manage the entire account. First, we'll start with my friend here, Chauncey. We have Chauncey's email address. The username is something that if the user already has an account, they can find. But it's much, much easier to just use the email address that they're using. I'm going to make Chauncey a group admin of a couple of groups. We'll put them in, there we go, not the test group, but advertising, direct to consumer, go to market, and marketing. So now Chauncey will have to accept the invitation into the account. But once he does, he'll be able to administer those four groups. So now that I have Chauncey added, I'm going to click invite user. And you can see that Chauncey is not yet a full-fledged member of this account because he has to accept the invite. So I'm going to pop over to Chauncey's account. So Chauncey already has an account, his own free account, which is a situation that sometimes you will find if somebody's already made their own and has been making links either for personal use or their work use. They may already have this account. And this can make it a little confusing sometimes for somebody to know how to get into your enterprise account. One thing about Chauncey's account is that he has not verified his email yet. So he in this account has this notification at the top. Um, and so before getting into your account, we're going to have to verify that email address. Now, when Chauncey created his account, he got this email from us, and all he has to do is click verify your email. And boom, here we are. Chauncey McPufferfish in here. And now, when we added him to the account, he got this email. You have been invited to an account on Bitly. You'll see connect your account because he already has his own. We're going to click connect your account. And here he is in our account. So that was as easy as it is to add a user. I do want to show, and now if I refresh this, you'll see that I have these 3 of 3 user seats. They're all taken up. I want to show adding another one though, and just giving user permissions. And the second user isn't going to have their own account already. So as they get invited into our Bitly Help Center account, they're going to have to create an account in the process of doing this. So before I do that, because I am at my maximum number of user seats, I have to remove a user. So this is something that as an account admin, you may have to do periodically. It's also a great way to manage access. So as somebody leaves your company, you may want to remove them from your account. So to do this, I'm going to remove Bitly customer, click these 3 dots on their line, and then select edit. remove user from account. Now you can see this person has a lot of user accounts and one group admin, and I could remove them from any individual account, but I want to remove them from sorry, I can remove them from any individual group, but I want to remove them from the account altogether. Remove, they're gone. So now refresh this once again, and it'll go down to user 2 of 3, go through the same process. Now we had Chauncey the pufferfish. We're going to add a woman named Tetra Odontidae, which, fun fact, is the scientific name for the animals that we know as pufferfish. So T Odontidae at gmail.com. And I'm going to give her user level access to those same groups that I put Chauncey in. So now Chauncey can effectively manage her access in those groups. Go ahead and click invite users. And again, Tetra is pending. You can see her status here, and she has to accept this invite. We'll click over into her email address, and we'll see that she has been invited to an account on Bitly. We'll click into this, exactly the same as what Chauncey had to do, connect to your account. But she's put here into the create account flow. So she has to, in this case, I'm just going to use the sign in with Google process. And she could just create her account with the regular, email and password. That's perfectly fine. To make it quick, I did it this way. And now you can see she is in the account. I can go back to my admin. And here we are, all three in here, myself, Pablo Bitcasso, the admin of this group, and our 2 users, Chauncey McPufferfish, who has group admin permissions, and Tetra, who has user admin. And so that's it. It's really quite simple. We saw several different ways of doing it here: individual user, group admin, removing users. I can do the same thing again to edit. It's really quite simple. So that's pretty much all I have to show, Maddie. I will send it back to you.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Definitely have a better understanding of how to add and remove users. Very helpful again if you're in a larger organization and need to give access to multiple people. We do have a couple of frequently asked questions. I know that comes up pretty often, so wanted to run through those with you, Alex, quickly before we wrap up. A common question I've heard is, how do group admins invite users?
Yeah, that's a great question, and something that I didn't show just now because we were looking at it from the account admin's perspective. But Chauncey, as that group admin, can also add and remove users um, within the group settings page. So when I went into settings in my account and I clicked users, I would have just clicked groups instead. And then if you're a group admin and you go into groups, you can select an individual group that you are able to manage. And in there, you can add or remove users from the account, or sorry, from that group specifically. We have an article on the Help Center for showing this bit.ly.support/group settings. You can go there for specific instructions, but like adding or removing users from the account, it's really quite simple.
Perfect. Makes sense. And yeah, very user friendly, it sounds like. As mentioned, feel free to go to that bit.ly.support/group settings, and you'll be able to see exactly what Alex just walked you through. Next common question is, can I export information about the users in my account?
Yeah. This is a brand new function that is really exciting for a lot of our users because we have some customers who have a lot of users in their account, and the account admin can do this. A group admin can't. But if you're an account admin, just go through into the user settings section that I showed, and there's an option to export users. So this can make it really easy to see and manage who has access to your account.
Perfect. And if I remember, I believe it's right next to the invite button, the
Yep.
export button.
Yep.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Great. Yeah, I know this is a highly requested feature, so we're excited that this is out there.
Very excited.
Perfect. Well, that brings us to the end of our user permission webinar or our Bitly deep dive webinar. As always, want to make sure we share some helpful links. We have a dedicated help center guide to users, so how to use users or how to add users to the enterprise account. We'll also have an article that defines the user permission and permissions if you ever need to remind yourself. But as Alex showed, it's also defined in the platform. And then we have the greater knowledge base at bit.ly/here to help, which Alex works tirelessly to keep up to date. So if you have any questions about user permissioning or Bitly features in general, feel free to check out the knowledge base. And if you need Bitly on the go, we do have mobile apps that you can download in both the Google Play and the App Store. But that's it for us today. Thank you all for joining and hopefully see you at our next deep dive.